Okay, so what I've got is a really nice paddle, but it's got a bit of a crack on the end there. Probably wouldn't affect anything right now, but over time that's just going to get worse and worse. So what I'm going to show you how to do is just how to sand or grind that out, file it out, and use a bit of 2-part epoxy and build it back up and sand it down so it's the same shape, and it should end up as good as new. Might at the same time just have a look at wet sanding those scratches out and getting it looking a bit prettier. So what we need, some 2-part epoxy. I use this Technique glue, H60 and R60. So you've got the resin over here, and you've got a hardener, and you just mix it 50-50. I'll mix it on this cardboard. If you're careful, it's fairly easy to work with and not too messy. Some high quality mixing tools. I just cut 2 strips of cardboard, one to dig out of each can, so you don't mix it in the can when it's in. A little bit of masking tape. That's just so that we don't get glue all over the paddle. We only get it where we need to, or the resin at least, where we need to build it up. It also helps when you're sanding it down as a bit of a protective layer over the good part of the paddle. File, may need it, may not need it. We're going to need some water for wet sandpapering. That's the last thing we do, and just some different grains of sandpaper, really rough one, medium one, and a sanding block, sometimes handy as well when you're doing a lot of it. So let's get started. What I'm going to do first is just use a file. Start filing that away. The inside's also, however, mostly good. It's just that one little section there that's brown. Some rough sandpaper. Take down a layer. Okay, that's pretty good as it is. Use some water. There you go. Alright, that'll give us enough to build the epoxy onto. Yeah, so before I mix up my epoxy, I just want to prep the paddle with some masking tape. Just get as close to that edge as you can. See where I started sanding it, that's hard to change the angle at all, and there's a bevel of the blade edge. So let's just get that nice and close. And put a bit more here. Just to take up that. That's prepped. It's only the bit that needs building up showing. Time to mix up my glue. I'm not going to need a lot of this, so just a little bit there. 50. Okay, now I can mix away. Now what we're going to do, scrape it on. Doesn't matter if it's a bit thicker than what it was, because we're going to grind it down afterwards. But at the same time, you don't want to overbuild it, because it's just too much to grind down later. The closer you can get it, the better. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for about an hour or so. Okay, so been a bit over an hour. That's nice and solid. Nice and solid. Just going to use a rough sandpaper. So you can see, as I'm getting down, I'll start taking off the masking tape, so we want to avoid that area now. I'll just put this little high spot here. Turn it over, same thing on the back. You can see there's a bit of a high spot here. As simple as that, really. So that looks really, really good. Take a step off. That's near perfect. There's a little bit of a hard spot there, so I'll work on that. And the back's still got a little bit of a line, so again, to use really rough stuff, just a glass paper. I'll start scratching the actual blade, now that I'm deep enough. Patience is the key on this. If you want a good finish. I'm just starting to scratch it now. I run my fingers along there, I can barely feel it. Sandy. Pretty perfect. So you can see we have built it up, but from the side and from the back, no lines or anything. It's smooth as I'll ever get it. That's it. It's easy as that.